Hello everyone, welcome back. So let's do another style study, this time with one of my favorite animes. Okay, so let's get right into it. I'm going to lower the opacity on this one, and I've gathered up some references. So at first glance I notice a difference in the eye size for all these characters. So you can convey different personality or actually different levels of, let's say, maturity to the character just by having different eye shapes or different eye sizes. So let's do a grid and see what I'm referring to. Okay, so let's make a new layer. Let's choose another color and make a grid. So let's start with this character. I'm going to do the chin line and the line under the eyes and this line at the end of the forehead. Okay, and I want to make this line as the most important and on what I'm going to base the whole character on. So in this case you can see this zone is way larger than this part. So if I go to another character, I'm going to do the chin line, under the eyes line, and the forehead, somewhere around here, line. So in this case, this zone is actually a bit smaller in comparison with this part. So you can see they're almost the same. This one is just a bit larger. But here you can definitely see this space occupies a lot more than this one. So if I go and do another one, let's do another middle of the line, the chin line, the eyes line, and where the forehead ends. You can really see this line, this space is similar to this space. And if I go and do another one here, one under the eyes and one at the forehead, you can see it's in reverse. So this space is way larger than this zone. This is why I said you can actually convey different personality or level of maturity, because this character maybe as a personality wise looks kinder than this character that looks maybe has a strong personality and determined personality. And same here, this character maybe you can see looks a bit younger than this character that looks more mature, and maybe this one and this one are somewhere in between. So it's not a rule to fit all, but it's something that maybe you can notice and keep in mind for future characters that you're drawing, and how easy it is to just move this middle line maybe a bit up or a bit down and have maybe totally different personalities or characteristics. So let's go down and let's try the same. So this line under the eye line as the most important line here, and here for the forehead. So also this is similar to this one, and maybe you can actually say that this character is maybe more balanced as a personality wise, and maybe this character and middle of the line, and here that also has this zone larger than this zone, so it's similar to this character. You can maybe already tell that she has a kinder personality. And for this one, a line here under the eyes. Oops, it's a bit it wasn't quite straight, and maybe here. Okay, this is almost the same with this line. Almost, it actually looks more like this character. So again, it's not a grid to fit all, and it's not a rule for everything, but you can maybe take advantage of this particular line. And especially for characters that have double personality, you can actually move this line a bit up and a bit down and just switch around the character for character's personality, so it will actually be a bit more easy to read. So those are just some small things you can do with it. Again, you should maybe explore it a bit and see if you like it. So I guess let's go again and do another grid. And no, not another grid, let's just complicate it a bit. So in this case, if I just go around and cut this part, so this line in two, and maybe this line in two, I can see, so this line I'm cutting it in two, and this line I'm cutting it in two. I can see the mouth is somewhere around this zone, maybe a bit up or maybe a bit down, and this is available for all the characters. And for the eyes, usually the eyes don't go above this line, so they're actually down below on different lines. So let's try it again. Let's cut this zone in two, and maybe this one in two, and I can see the mouth is somewhere around in this zone. And for the eyes, they're actually a bit lower than this character. Okay, so let's try again. I'm cutting it in the middle, and here I'm cutting it in the middle as well. And if I cut again this zone in two once more, I can actually see how small the eye size is. And for the mouth, you can see it's a bit, it's placed a lot lower than this middle of the line. Okay, and same for this character. I'm cutting this zone in two and this zone in two, and I actually have to cut this zone again, just so I can see how small the eye zone is. So it's very, very small. And for the mouth, again, it's placed lower than this line. Okay, and just the same. So in this case, even if I cut this in two, you can actually see his eyes are a bit over the line. Same here. Okay, and the mouth is under this line. And here as well, if I cut it in two, you can see the eyes are almost this size and the mouth is somewhere along this line. And same here, if I cut it into here and maybe into here, the eyes are almost this size, so similar to this one, and the mouth is on this line. And again, it's not a thing that fits all, it's just something that you might want to notice it and, you know, take it into consideration, because it's also showing the characters and how they look. Because let's say if I were to move his eyes a bit lower, it might do nothing, but it might not look like the actual character. And same here, if I were to let's say make her eyes a bit smaller, well, maybe it's a bit too much. So, or just let's actually place her eyes here. You know, it might not look like the character and it might not fit, it might just look a bit off. So just this type of grid is actually helpful, just so you can understand maybe where to place the objects. Okay, so now that I've done the grid, let's go ahead and practice it a bit. Okay, so let's go around on a new layer. Let's choose a line art color and lower the opacity a bit. So let's start as usual with the head. Let's do the lines here and just focus on the middle line. So here you can place this line up or down, however you feel like it. So let's do the eyes. Okay. Maybe something like this. And I said if I make this line here, so I actually now know where to place the forehead, so we're basically reversing the grid that we already we already did. Okay, and maybe the nose around here, so let's stop the chin line around here, make another lines, and here I'm going to add the mouth. Okay, so let's finish up the head shape like this. Maybe like this. I'm going to actually make this layer a bit smaller. Okay, and the eyebrows and the eyelid. Okay, and here I'm going to do a rounder shape for the hair. Okay, and do the same thing on this part as well. And just do the wavy lines for the hair in the head. And again, don't need to spend too much time on it, just try and grasp the style and where to add the proportions. Okay, and I think I actually need to make the chin a bit pointier. Okay, and maybe this line like this. Okay, and I'm lowering a bit the eyes so I can make them a bit larger. And the shadow. Okay, and a very small neck. And I think I need to place this eye maybe like this, and this eye just a bit farther away. Okay, let's go to another character. So starting off with the head. This line, let's start the chin somewhere around here, and let's do the middle line, so where I want the eyes to go under the eye, the line under the eye. Okay, and just draw the eye and draw the eyebrow. Okay, the nose. And let's cut this one another time. So now I know the mouth is going to be under this line, and this line is going to be for the nose, and just continue and build the rest of the face. So in this case I think I actually need to place this line a bit lower and maybe just make this line a bit narrower. Okay, and maybe here for where the hair starts. Okay, so it's not in the middle, it's a bit on the side, so I'm going to draw the hair like this. Okay, and I think, well, this is the middle line, so if I cut this line again in 2 and another, and this one another time in 2. I can maybe see that I have the eyes somewhere around here. So, and since this is a way more mature character, I actually think I need to make the eyes actually a bit smaller, because let's check the grid again. Okay, it's somewhere around here. Okay, and let's do the other eye as well. And the eyebrow. Okay. And I think I need to separate them just a bit. And if I do that, I also need to make the face a bit larger here and a bit narrower here. Okay, we can see the ears, but there should be on the nose line, so maybe somewhere around here. But we're not going to draw them because it's well, it doesn't quite look like the character if I just put his ears, just because he has a specific hairstyle that covers them. So, and the neck, you can see, is a bit wider to the face in comparison with the other character. Okay, and let's just do one more. So starting off with the head, I'm going to place somewhere around here the eyes under the line under the eyes. So the eyes are going to be somewhere around here. I'm going to make the middle line, and let's make similar size here and here. So I'm going to place this line maybe somewhere around here, and this line here maybe just a bit up, so I can do this character. Okay, and from here I'm going to maybe do something like this. Okay, and if I cut this zone, this zone into, I will know the mouth is somewhere around this line. So let's add it here. And here I'm going to have the nose, and here I'm going to place the eyes, maybe like this. And here maybe like this. Okay. And for the bangs, they're going down here, so let's just do that. Okay, and make the head shape rounder. And a very thin neck and the long neck. And now, since I have the base, I can just go ahead and just polish it a bit. So let's make this a bit smaller. I like using the whole canvas, so I usually have to maybe minimize the work that I'm doing, just because if I see a bit of space, I'm going to occupy it. Okay. Okay, and the other, and the shoulders, maybe something like this. And I think maybe I can actually move this line just a bit lower, just a bit, not too much, because I want this one to be just a bit larger than this one, and I feel like now it is, and maybe just redo the chin, because it was going over it, over the line. Okay. Okay, and I think I'm going to make this one just a bit lower as well. Okay, so let's rename this one number 3, and I think I'll leave this like they are, and just let's backtrack a bit, because I also wanted to talk about the eyes and I kind of forgot. So let's choose this shape. So the eyes also have this kind of shape, but it's a bit cut here, and you will you can play with this corner, this corner, and this corner. So let's try again. So for this eye, let's go around and start here from this corner and just round everything up. And after we've round up this corner, we actually go down, and here I'm going to do the eyes under, the eyelashes under, and well, that's about all for this shape. Here I actually can go just a bit down, and here I'm going a bit up. Let me choose heavier brush, so like this. And for the eyes, it's actually it's an oval, but it's a bit squished. Maybe a bit more. Okay, I actually feel like it almost has a squisher sides up and down. So maybe something like this. And I'm just going to add some details. So the pupil here, the eye ring, it's a bit darker, and let's do a bit of highlight. So one here, dot here, and a lighter nuance here, and just one more. So that's basically the eye shape, and we can also go around and just draw the eyelid. Okay, so let's try this technique. Let me just merge the layers. Okay, on the other eyes as well. So let's say in this case I'm still going to use this base, but I'm going to play around with this corner and make it a bit down. With this corner, make it a bit wider on the outside. This one seems fine, and these two corners, I think I'm going to place them a bit up. so we have smaller eyes. So let's do a line here, this line, this line, and we're going just a bit down. Okay, and for this line I'm actually going to make it a bit curvier. Okay, and just go ahead and add more details and the eyelashes and the eyelid. Okay, and I think the eyes are the same, so let's go with an oval, but let's squish the top and the bottom a bit. So I guess you can use a square shape that's a bit rounded. Okay, and let's make it like this. Okay, you can actually delete this one and just add more details to the eye as well. So oops, let me go on this layer. Okay, so a darker outer ring, the pupil that's a bit small, and let's go ahead with lighter color here and another highlight on the lighter color, and just add the white highlight here and one here, and also is this part, oops, like this, so we can actually just make it a bit darker, which I think I forgot to do it for the other one. Let's repair it here if we're here. So just a bit of a darker color in this zone. Okay. Let me merge these layers again, and let's do one more. Who should we do? This one is similar, this one is similar to this one, and this one is actually similar to this one. This one is also similar to this one, just a bit lower. I mean, yes, this line a bit up. Okay, so let's do this one and just exaggerate the point. So for this one, I'm going to move this point maybe around here. This point I'm going to make it around here. Actually, let me just duplicate this one and just squish it so you can see it easier. Okay, so even if it's squished like this, I'm still going to make this point somewhere around here, this point somewhere around here. This point seems to be fine, and these 2 points I'm actually going to make them a bit up. Okay, so now I'm just going to do the lines, and because the eye is so squished, I can actually unite these two lines here, and from this point I'm actually going to do a curved line here. Okay, and yeah, that's kind of all. So you can basically use the same shape to make different variations to the eyes. So I can actually still use this point to make the eyelid as it can fit. Okay, and let's do the eyebrows, and let's also do the eyes. So let's try again with rectangular but with rounded corners. So maybe not like this, maybe like this, so it's a squished oval. Okay, it's not quite round, so maybe like this. Let's delete parts that are going outside the eye and just do the same, so a ring, a darker eye ring, I don't know if we can call that the pupil, and here we have a darker nose. Let's do another shade here, and here we have a lighter zone and a highlight on the lighter zone, and then we just add the highlight eye dot here and one here, so just do maybe 3 as far as I see. Okay, and yeah, that's all with the eyes, so let's move on. I actually have another reference sheet that I can just go over it. Okay, so here I just want to do a quick color study, but in the meantime I'm just going to speed up the sketch process. Okay, so again, it doesn't need to be perfect, we just want to go around and do some color studies now. When you look at the references, the colors seem very bright, but I think the range is around this part, so it's not quite here. This is way too bright, and this is maybe a bit too dark, and this part is maybe a bit too gray, so I believe the range is somewhere around here, so I'm going to try and find similar colors that can help. So let's see for the hair, maybe a bit more desaturated, maybe something like this. Okay. So again, we don't need to spend too much time on this, we just kind of want to train our eyes to maybe see more colors. So for the shadows, I might go like this, maybe a bit darker. Now if it were for me, maybe I would actually change this purple more like this, but again, it's a style, so just I guess pay attention to the color changes and see which one you can apply and why does it work. Okay, so maybe like this, and for the highlight I'm still going to stay in the same color. I will not go a more reddish or a more bluish tone, so let's stay around the same range and maybe a bit lighter. Okay, and I can observe the highlight is a zigzag pattern, so something like this, and here we have a few lines, simple lines. So let's leave it like this and just go to the skin color, maybe a bit more reddish and a bit more lighter. However, that tone seems good for the shadows, so let's try that as well. For the shadows, maybe keeping on the same range, maybe here, maybe like this. I think this one is a bit more on a blue tone. Okay, let me just add the skin color here and here as well. And for the white, I think maybe we're playing around this tone. Maybe a bit lighter. Okay. Okay, and I also notice very harsh shadow here, so maybe like this. And the eyes are actually more on the purple side, so oops, maybe like this. I think I'm going to do this unlower the opacity because we have a strong line here, and we also have the pupil here and the outer ring. And let's do the highlight of the eye, so maybe like this, and the darker color for the upper part, and another highlighted color, and like this, and the white parts. Okay, and also this character is wearing lipstick, so let's try that as well. Again, I'm keeping it around this color range to see maybe a bit more orange. Yeah, maybe like this. Maybe it can fit. Okay, so let's check the colors and see how we did. So this is my color and this is the hair color, and surprisingly it's similar, so you can look down here as I'm going in between them, and that's pretty good. What about the shadow? The shadow seems fine as well. So again, maybe I would have want a more purple tone, so just keep the colors in the same range. I feel like this is something specific for the style. I might be wrong, but just things that you can notice. So for the skin, I think mine is a bit too red, and this one is a bit more on the orange side. So let's try and fix that. So maybe here. I mean, it's barely a difference, but maybe it will be a bit more visible on another PC or on another monitor. So for now, let's I think I'll leave it like this. Let's move on to the shadow. And I actually made a way lighter shadow than the official one, so let's fix that. Let's add a bit more contrast to it, and let's intensify the shadows a bit. So maybe here. Well, okay, let's see. This is my shadow, and yes, I went too dark with the shadow, but that's okay. We can just lighten it up just a bit, a tone, and I think now it should be okay. Almost okay. Let's do the highlight. I think I forgot to check the highlight here, and yeah, the highlight is similar, so that's good. Let's check this white, and it's similar to what I've done. How about the shadow? The shadow looks similar. I think mine is a bit more blue and the other one is a bit more purple. Let's check the eyes are a bit hard to check, but maybe I'm just going to look here to notice the colors. They jump around a lot. Okay, how about mine? Yeah, no, I don't think I can check the color. Oh, the eye, it's okay. How about the lipstick? The lipstick, I want a bit too dark with it, and this one is a bit lighter, but that's okay. So let's just check that out. Repair that, and okay, let's move on to another character. Okay, going to hide this one and speed up the process for the next. Okay, so let's go ahead and check the colors. The process is the same as the previous drawing, so I just sped up the whole video. So let's check the hair first, and I think it's a similar color, so we can leave it like that. Let's check the shadows. Shadow seems to be fine. Let's check the highlight. Maybe here. So I think I have to darken my highlights just a bit. Yes, I think they're a bit lighter, so let's do that. Maybe like this. Okay. Let's check it again. And now it's a similar color, so that's fine. Let's check the skin color, and apparently it's the same color, so that's good. I was actually a bit worried since we have a lighter background here. It can influence the colors you have here than here, so I actually thought it's a bit darker, but I think it's almost the same tone. Just this one is a bit more on the orange side, and I usually go for a more reddish tone, so just thoughts that you can maybe notice and take account for the future next drawing. So let's check this color. Seems to be fine. This one is pretty close. What about the highlight? Seems to be fine. What about the gold? Oh, gold is a similar color. Actually, it's on the same spectrum here. It's just a bit more yellow here, and mine is a bit more orange, but I'm quite surprised. Okay, let's check this red, which is totally different by the looks of it. So I think I need to maybe darken this red a bit. So let's check it again, and mine looks a bit more grayish, so maybe I need to go maybe somewhere around here. And seems to be fine now. And what about this shadow? This shadow is way too lighter for what the original is, so I'm going to just repair it a bit and make it a bit darker. Okay, let's check it again, and it seems fine. Again, this type of exercise, you don't really need to spend too much time on it. You just have to train your eyes a bit and the memory, I guess. So let's do one more. I'm going to speed it up. Okay, so let's go ahead and check the colors in a few minutes. I think this eye needs to be a bit like this, so the distance between the eyes seems to be a bit wider, and I think I'm going to go to mesh transform and just see if I can do it like this. Okay, I think it's a bit better. Again, you don't need to spend too much time on it. So let's check the hair color, and it's pretty similar, so that's okay. Let's check the shadows. Shadow is, well, this one is a bit more on a blue undertone, and mine is is I guess on a yellow undertone, so let's fix that. So maybe here. Oh, seems to be like a fresher green. Let's check it again. This is the new color, and now it's similar, so that's okay. Let's check the skin tone. Skin tone is, well, mine is a bit too colorful and this one is a bit more saturated, so I guess just let me go and fix that, because the difference is a bit too much. Maybe like this. And again, we have a white background, so it might influence a bit, so I don't know, let's check it out. So surprisingly it's kind of similar. Okay, so let's check the shadows, and my shadow is just way too light, so let me go ahead and fix that. So what was the color again? Okay, this, so let's go to a darker shade, maybe around here. And let's check it again, and I think it's okay. Seems to be fine. Let's check the pizza, and my pizza is a bit more on the yellow tone, so yeah, it's okay. Let's check the shadows, and the shadows are not very good. Okay, let's try redo the pizza. So maybe this, and for the shadows maybe this, if I recall correctly. So let's try it again. Okay, now it's a similar color, and for the shadow, oh, it's okay. Seems to be fine. What about this red color? Just, yes, it's not very good. Mine is way too lighter, and the shadow, I actually think the shadow one is my darker shadow, so my darker color. So actually this is this red, and maybe for the shadow, maybe it's this part. So let's check it out. Okay, the shadow seems to be fine, and this red almost seems to be okay. So okay, let's leave it like this, and let's move on to just a tiny part I want to talk about. So you know how it's a stylistic choice to make them very tall, and I really love it. It actually reminds me a bit of the fashion drawings that you might see on the internet, where the focus is on having a long body and just see the outfit that the designer created. Head goes around 7.5 times in the body, so I just guess I wanted to test it out and see how many times you can fit the head into the body, so maybe just have an idea of how we can make them longer without having to struggle too much. So let's go like this. Okay, let's go with a thinner line. Okay, so should I zoom in? I think it's okay. So this is more or less the head. So this is one. So out of curiosity, let's duplicate this grid and just merge selected layer and just test out on the other characters as well. So this one has a bit of a smaller head, so maybe like this. So it is around 8.5. half. Okay, let's duplicate it again. Let's try this character. This one seems to actually be 9. Let's duplicate it again and try this character. Maybe a bit larger like this. So this one is, yeah, I guess 9.5 and another half. So let's try this character also, as I think it's the shortest. Oops, yes, apply. And for this character, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. Okay. So this is just to have a better understanding on the proportion. Now you've seen it's not one size fit all. So we have maybe 7.5, maybe 8 or 9, and that's also available in real life. Maybe if you're like me and you're a bit shorter, your head won't fit 7.5 times. Maybe it's just gonna be 6.5. But maybe if you're a bit taller, maybe you will have 8.5 squares like this. So indeed they have a longer body, but not by much, just by another square. So it does remind you of those fashion drawings where they usually make the body a bit more longer. So I think that's all I wanted to talk about this, and I think I'm just going to jump into the fan art. So I'll see